You see, I told you guys what a race it was. Before the race started, I said it on my WhatsApp channel that it's going to be a Red Bull win, that's a Max Verstappen win, and a McLaren championship. That's for Lando Norris. I knew that was what was going to happen, but unfortunately, I was drinking the Red Bull, and it's a promise now I have to buy a McLaren next year. What a race it was. A race that brought in over 105 different countries trooping into Abu Dhabi to watch this final GP, to hand the ground effect cars and to see who will win amongst the three championship contenders. We mean Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, and Oscar Piastri. And what a race it delivered. No DNFs, nobody was knocked out of the race. It was just a straight blow. Drivers trading pure blows, pure ecstasy against themselves and showing what they can do and what is possible. And it was all possible. We saw a great drive from Ferrari. Ferrari really proved themselves today that they can be a championship disruptor. Max Verstappen started well. He was able to block on and he was relying on others to make mistakes or other drivers to help him. We saw the team calling on Yuki Tsunoda to help him protect or to defend Lando Norris. I knew at that time that there was nothing Yuki Tsunoda could do. He is not as feisty as Sergio Perez. Yuki Tsunoda is a very clean racer. He's not been in that kind of races before. We've not seen him in championship races or trying to defend, attack, or whatever that we think he could have done. So couldn't do that. He even got a 5-second penalty for all his stress, which put him out of points and made this race miserable. But I think it was a good piece of race. Max Verstappen did a good job by himself, doing a one pit stop, managing the race from the front. When he pitted and he came back, he was able to manage the race, stay in front of Lando Norris, gave him a good understanding, knew he was not going to pit. If he's out there on fresh tires, he would do a good job, and that was what he did. Oscar Piastri gave an account of himself in a good way. He ended the race, and we can see that Oscar Piastri has the pace all along. For me, I believe McLaren just wanted Lando Norris to win the championship because being with them for about 9 years, this is the only championship he might win. Oscar Piastri is still young. He has more opportunities to win championships, and I think this is the biggest opportunity for Lando Norris to win championship. That would be why they wanted him to win, and he had won it. So next year is a different year. There will be a very close championship next year to be boxed up in 22 cars, 24 Grand Prix, new regulations, new engines, everything coming new. It's going to be a very, very crazy one, a very difficult one. We're expecting something different next year. So this is the best opportunity. I think Oscar Piastri and Max Verstappen deserve this championship win. Looking at how well they've done this season, how they've really fought, and how they've really given a good account of themselves, I think they deserve it. Unfortunately, Lando Norris won the championship. Max Verstappen won the race. Oscar Piastri came third in the championship, which is so sad for me because I believe if he had won the race, whatever happens, he comes in second because he was put under the heat. He was just thrown into the fire and the fire burnt really hard on him. But all in all, a good start for Max Verstappen, good start for Charles Leclerc. From his 6th position, he was able to climb into 4th position in the race. Alonso gave a good account of himself, defended as if his life would depend on it. He was ahead of the Mercedes. Pushed. Charles Leclerc was able to tell us that the Ferrari team have a good race car, and they prove it in the race today. Lewis Hamilton was able to secure from 18th, he was able to secure the 8th position, which I think is a good one, and he was able to come home with 4 points, and it was a decent race for Lewis Hamilton from 18th. He deserves the driver of the day. For me, I don't know why Max Verstappen was given the driver of the day. He led outrightly from beginning to the end, and it was between 1 and 2, so it's not that he came in from behind. Lewis Hamilton deserves the driver of the day. He was a driver that really gave us more overtakes, more decent racing all through the race. Then comes in, I think, probably look at Hulkenberg, Lance Stroll, and Kimi Antonelli. Those guys really gave a good race today. We still saw some lapses on the Ferrari during the race. Ferrari is not that strong on aerodynamics. Ferrari needs to look at that going into next year. Ferrari needs a very strong car. If the car is not strong, I don't know how they will do it. New regulations, everything new. And one thing I think I saw all through the season was the Mercedes were far better than the Ferrari. Last year, Ferrari really gained. It looks better. The dwindling of Mercedes from 2022 was there, but the rising of Ferrari from 2022, I think, was there because they really rose and they came up until last year and they came down short of it this year. They really fell. They fell hard, flat on the floor. That is Ferrari for you this year. Ferrari really fell in the Constructors' Championship. Last year was better. Last year was good for them, but this year they really had it worse. Lance Stroll Beautiful race for him and Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso coming in 6th behind George Russell. What a great race George Russell had. There was nothing to really risk for because they are not chasing for championship except for Leclerc really in the party. I don't know what he was chasing for. The car was fast, but not as fast as the McLaren's, no, the Red Bull. So I don't know if he was fighting to win the race and how he will gain 29 seconds to go ahead of Max Verstappen. I don't understand, because at the point Max Verstappen was asking how Leclerc was doing against Lando Norris, and I'm like, hey, what is up? You're not in this championship, just leave these 3 guys to go. Your car cannot even go ahead of them. But unfortunately, after the question was asked, Lando Norris was able to gain traction and he just went ahead of him, and Charles Leclerc was just nowhere. Even if Lando Norris had taken the 5-second penalty, Charles Leclerc could not be close to him, which shows how well they've really prepared for this final. McLaren don't really need to win the race. All McLaren needed to do was to come in 2nd, 3rd. That's all they needed to do, just to win the Drivers' Championship. They have nothing to risk. They have no risk to bear, just 2nd and 3rd, and that they were able to do today. At the end of the race, we saw 2 Aston Martins in the point in the last race of the season. That is massive, which means next year might look better for Aston Martin, and 2 Asses in the points. The Haas are looking at doing a more thorough job on the Toyota Gazoo racing implementation, which might bring them more opportunities. So I think ending this race on the high for that team is a great one. That was in 7th and in 9th for Haas. They had 2 cars in the points, while teams like Mercedes, Red Bull had 1 car each. It's season to reflect on for Alpine, though. They are totally out of Renault at the end of the season, moving to Mercedes to manage themselves all alone. So I think they will reflect on it and see how they can come back stronger next year. Hulkenberg outperformed his teammate in the last race of the season. Great race for Aja. Perfect race for Aja. Liam Lawson had penalty and that set him back and he was unable to come back from there. But I think it was a very perfect race for the end of the season, in which we don't have any safety car, any other obstruction for the race. Now, Lando became the 35th driver to win a Formula 1 World Championship Cup in history, which is great and perfect for him. There were split strategies from most teams, drivers to take advantage, especially between McLaren and Red Bull. So how did it all end? It ended in a good grace, because with all the strategies, we knew that pit would determine who wins, and the McLaren were able to try and maximize their pitting time. They pitted twice while Max Verstappen just pitted once. I knew it was going to be a 2-pit strategy. When you look at the weather and you look at the race, you would know that the best strategy is a 2-pit stop strategy. Now, how can you stay long on your tires? And which Oscar Piastri did and Max Verstappen did. They were able to stay long on their tires, and that saved them the race. We have other drivers doing that also. Now, during the race, we had some icky with between Lawson, Bierman, that really affected Lewis Hamilton. That was why Lawson was given a 5-second penalty. We had the Stroll, Bierman. We had so many incidents in the race. Some got 5-second penalty for it. We had Albon getting 5-second penalty for racing inside the pit lane. Yuki Tsunoda for weaving on the straight while defending Lando Norris. We had Lawson for driving erratically here. We had Gasly for exceeding the track limit. Lewis and Antonelli almost did that, and including Max Verstappen himself, he almost exceeded the track limit, a violation, but they were able to keep it in check. Nothing like that was recorded against them. What do we hope for next season? We hope that the teams can do a good job next season, bring up cars that would perform and make us see how this championship will come alive next year. Because the championship comes alive next year, then it's going to be a big race, a big season for us going into next year, and seeing how the teams perform towards the end of this year is a big one. Lewis Hamilton is always a big point, especially his marriage with Ferrari. In races, we saw his post-race remark with the team. After saying everything he said, thanking the team, that he always give his best for the team just kept quiet, and I'm like, is it that they don't believe him, or they are too dumb to talk, or is it that this team has so much ego that they cannot just comprehend with Lewis Hamilton, or they don't need Lewis Hamilton in the team? They just tell him they don't need him, because he had to ask them, did you guys hear me? Later they now said, yeah, they heard him. So they just wanted to keep quiet. They love silence, or they are mourning their head that they've lost all through the season, because I'm trying to understand Ferrari, what is wrong with them. It's going to be a big one. Now, going into next year, I think if Mercedes have a very powerful engine like everybody is looking at, Kimi Antonelli will be a force to reckon with. Now we are looking at probability of Sauber Now 2 new engines coming in, Sauber and GM engine, that's the Cadillac team coming in. How will they be able to give their all? It's going to be a challenging one. If they are not able to bring a very good engine, it's going to be a challenging one for them. And also looking at the end of the season for Red Bull, they really gave it all. They didn't give up. From fourth in the Constructors' Championship, they're able to come third, and Max Verstappen, that was already out of the championship fight, was able to come second, which is a good one, which is a good fight they gave. I think it's going to be a good one next year. And 2026-27 will be how the rookies are able to really fight against the big boys and how they're able to fare in their car next year. But what do you expect from Formula 1 next year? Let me know what you expect, what you think should happen. Let's analyze this season together. Who do you think will win? Who do you think will bring up a challenge next season? Congratulations to Drake. Congratulations to McLaren. Congratulations to Lando Norris. And congratulations to Oscar Piastri, Zach Brown, Andrea Stella for a good job they've done this season. And this is a championship in which they deserve, and I hope they don't come next year with that papaya rule that almost ruined their season. It's a great one. What else do you expect more? Please, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, and share. You guys have been part of this family. You've made this year a wonderful one. You've done a perfect job with us. We've been able to analyze a lot of races, give you a lot of predictions. It's been a stressful season. You don't understand what we go through making videos. You guys have just made it worthwhile. I love you guys. Thank you so much. A lot of videos will be coming in through the years. We might have a Christmas concert, not for your fun, but for the family. You guys are in, you can just let me know. I send you an invite in Lagos. You can come in. Yeah, I love you guys. Bye. Cheers.